Hey Bayek, it's me Ian, and in today's video I'm continuing my look at the X-Files first season, and this is episode 12, Fire. And this is a very interesting episode. You'll see what I mean when I talk about it. There's some very interesting issues in this episode, as you'll see. Now, before this, the last one we had was Eve, and the next one is going to be Beyond the Sea. This was transmitted on the 17th of December 1993 on the Fox network, and on the 8th of December 1994 in the UK, it was transmitted on BBC Two. Yes. Now, this is written by Chris Carter. He does write quite a few, actually, particularly you notice in this first season. It's very interesting seeing that, because I sometimes think some are really good and others perhaps don't quite work as well as they should. But that's just an observation. But in the first season, they do tend to be very strong. And this is directed by Larry Shaw, who previously directed episode 10, which was Fallen Angel. He's a director of lots of TV series and films. That's his career in that particular area. Now, this has some interesting background behind it. Particularly, we've got in locations, we've got the Venerable Plaza Hotel in Vancouver. Always lots in Vancouver because it's a local thing. And also another exterior shot was also done at the Vancouver mansion, which was used in the Jersey Devil episode. So they do that quite a bit. It's obviously because finances and everything. Why not reuse the same locations? Now, this episode has a lot of technical stuff which they had to do on a sound stage, particularly involving fire. So that had quite a bit of production problems which they had to solve, and which they did. Unfortunately, David Duchovny did suffer a burn to his hand, but there were no other, accidents which could have been a lot worse, because when you watch it of these fires, it's always difficult to control them. That's another reason why you do them on a sound stage where you can get in there, rather than, well, you wouldn't be able to do it on an actual location, would you? But yeah, this certainly did present certain problems, but they overcome that in the production. Now, the cast. Let's look at the cast. We've got, as usual, we've got David Duchovny playing Fox Mulder. And then we've got Gillian Anderson playing Dana Scully. Now, there's no of the reoccurring characters that we have seen previously. So you can see straight away this is more of a standalone episode. creature feature. It's not part of the conspiracy theory or plot or whatever's going on. Because in this, it doesn't appear to be a theory, does it? It's, well, that's how we see it, yes. Now, the cast is headed by Amanda Pays, who plays Phoebe Green. Why are they always called Phoebe, the English characters? I don't know. But there we are. And she's really known in terms of lots of TV series and TV films. And we'll go into her a bit more soon, but I just thought, get that out. Then the other major actor in this, who is the villain really, or is he as well? Yes. But yeah, the main antagonistic villain we have got is Mark Sheppard, who plays Bob and Cecil Lively. He's an interesting performance, but he is quite well known for playing sort of villains as well, apparently. He's particularly, it's a lot of TV series and episodes involved. Quite a well-known face in certain areas, definitely. But we have got a Doctor Who connection. Yeah, Doctor Who. He appeared in 2011, and that was the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith, in the 2 episodes which followed each other, which was the Impossible Astronaut, which was followed by Day of the Moon. He was in those. They were transmitted in April 2011. Yeah, so we've got that Doctor Who connection, which is great. I think they're the main cast members that I really need to go into. Very interesting seeing their performances. Now, let me give you an idea about what this story is about. Now, it's immediately quite interesting because we see this former lover, interest, or whatever you want to call her, who Mulder knew 10 years ago at Oxford. And she is now an inspector. And she has come over she's from New Scotland, well, from Scotland Yard. As we say, New Scotland Yard. But Scotland Yard. And she's like there as a sort of protection, helping out this family of Sir Michael Marsden and his wife and children. And she's providing the security, if you want to look at it like that, helping him out. But she's come to Mulder because she wants his opinion on what he thinks about these serious cases that look like spontaneous combustion. Of course, that, it's one of those very X-Filey things. And of course, he's interested. And it's interesting from the viewpoint of Scully seeing all this. She's quite learning a bit more about Mulder, and the relationship is very interesting that you see. We even see, I think, quite a bit of jealousy raising its head already. Scully does, the beginnings of that feeling, protecting him, and yeah, that is interesting. Anyhow, what happens, of course, in this story as it develops, and of course, Scully plays a major part in unearthing, even though she's not supposed to be in the investigation, he's supposed to be doing it with Phoebe, but she's got involved in some ways doing just this research to help him out. But of course, the case suddenly becomes sort of pyrokinetics. That's what it is. The spontaneous combustion is not there. It's actually all related to this one character, the villain. Yes, the villain, which is the Bob character, who has come from England over here. Yes, and that is how the story sort of unravels and it develops, and we see the sense of what inevitably where it's going to go. And that's it. This is the story. Now, you can tell maybe that I have got a bit of reservations about some aspects of this story. And it's in terms of the writing with Chris Carter. And maybe it's what Americans see the English people are. But this Phoebe character, I don't think a lot of people in our country would like her. She's a stereotype. She doesn't exist, really, or she did years ago. She's like an upper-class English accent. There's nobody going, hey, by gum, or no northern accents, or even southern accents. It's a stereotype. It's like, and the kids that we see in it, they're dressed like Prince Harry and Prince William were as little kids. And it's almost like Chris Carter just has no idea about the British people, and of course they're presented in quite a negative way as well, which is another thing. I know I sound like I'm ranting away, but why can't they get our characters right? And it kind of, when you watch this story, it does affect you. And let's face it, there was even talk at one time that this character, the English inspector, might appear again in the X-Files, perhaps as a semi-reoccurring character. Thank heavens we didn't. She's kind of spoils it, and she's like almost a villain character, which is it's just a bad thing that she's portraying British people like this. But you can see Scully is on her case anyhow, and she knows exactly what she's like. So that is a negative. But the story, the ideas behind the story are very good. And I think the villain is good. He plays that really well. He portrays it well. And we get all that. And we learn a bit more about Mulder. Again, more about when he was a child, his fear of fire. There's all sorts of good things in it. But you wouldn't put it as the top episode of the season. It's not the worst, but it's not outstanding, really. And of course, some fans, saw this and do see it as a weaker episode. And I think that's true. I mean, I don't think there's any really terrible episodes anyhow, really, in this first season. But this one, it just doesn't feel quite as good as what we have seen. And that is basically down to the writing of Chris Carter. As I mentioned earlier about him, he's really just not got it wrong. But the story is a good idea, definitely. And, it's a shame that we've had to mention this, but why can't Americans get British people right when they're writing? Yes. I don't understand it. Why? Yeah, let's get some Yorkshire people in there. Aye, that's what we need. But no, we get this fictitious nowadays. Nobody really meets these kind of people with these plummy accents. Oh wow, yeah. Anyhow, it's a good. It's a story you just sit and enjoy and wonder. Wow, yes. But no, I think the premise is good. And as I say, the special effects are very good. And I say the villain, he is good. He is good in this. He's definitely creepy enough to be the villain. And also it is nice to see that Scully is just a bit jealous, and it's nice to see that just there, because it's showing the closeness of already starting on their relationship, which is great. So that's it, really. Before I go, I just do what I normally do, show you this, the wonderful first season, the box set, the small box set within the big box set, because I've got the big box, but here it is. Great. It's wonderful. And that's it. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and then we'll let you know when I produce these videos. And if you look in the playlist, you'll see all the X-File episodes I have reviewed, and also look at other playlists and see what I do, and just have a, if you might like it, you might not. And if you like this video, please give it a like. It gets it out onto YouTube and the algorithms, and hopefully other people might come along and enjoy it. I'll press the well, but that's it. And if you've got any comments, please put your comments down. I love to read your comments, and I say it's all cost notes, so can't say fairer than that. So all I'm gonna say is I'll see thee again.